Okay, so we're starting The Longing, which has been an interesting bit of suffering for us all. So this game takes 400 days to play. You can see the counter at the top. Apparently there's ways of speeding that up slightly, but it's still a really, really long game. So I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride and we can all suffer together. An interesting creative concept. Lots of waiting in the game. Deep, deep beneath the earth there lay the realms of an old king. So other people have skipped this and then been told that there's a big bit of story here. Now, interestingly, this is kind of sets the theme nicely for the game, which is effectively everything's slow and you have to wait for everything. Now, I quite like a slow-paced game, but we'll see whether 400 days is a bit much even for me. But the goal is to pretty much every day upload one of these. That 400 days will go in real time, so I could start this episode, not play it for 14 months, start it again, and then get an ending. But I'm going to see how many days I can actually put something of this up. So whenever I'm at home, get another video daily as an update. My powers have faded. All I have is left is you, my faithful shade. All I ask of you is to wait and never leave these caves. I shall now sleep for 400 days to gather my remaining strength. Wake me when the time has come to end all fear and longing. So this guy's got kind of the most boring job in the universe, right? He just has to... This is my home, a nice space to spend the next 400 days waiting. Okay, let's have a... Oh, he walks slow. I can draw. Let's draw. Look at him actually slowly drawing it in real time. Apparently, the inspiration for this game, which I heard from a couple of places, so it's probably true, has some truth in it at least, came from the game designers waiting for an Arriva bus. Those of you who have ever used Arriva buses, you'll know that that can be a long thing to do. I never had to wait 400 days for one. That's really interesting because you don't know quite when he's stopped. He's drawing it so slowly. And you can pause the drawing here and you can just leave it, I guess. I think this is going to set the scene quite nicely for the overall experience. Time goes by faster in the company of great art. This one deserves a special place on my wall. So, yeah, I like that. So that means that when I'm in this room, that's actually ticking down slightly faster than 1 second per second. But I mean, still slightly, right? Okay, so there's one where I can look at the hourglass, which I'll do. Time is progressing slow and steady. Slow and steady. Okay, so that probably gives me an idea of how much improvements I've made to his house, which makes time go faster. Nothing better than resting the weary body on a comforting armchair. Oh, that spoke Zarathustra. Oh, yeah. That's a bit of a serious book to start off with reading, so let's read with something classic like Moby Dick. Oh my god. It's actually got the book. 1,282 pages of Moby Dick. Okay, thoughts, right? Let's start with a 5-pager. I don't think I'm going to make anyone watch me as I do my audible impression and read such greats as Moby Dick and Thus Spoke Zarathustra. That's a book by Nietzsche, which is apparently very interesting. I've not read it yet, but now I've got my opportunity to read it. Included in the price of the game. So there you go. King told me to wait for 400 days, then I should awaken him, and he will end all fear and longing. I wonder what will happen. At least my birthday will be a bit sooner. The king warned me that I should never leave these caves. I wonder exactly what he meant by that. I wish I could dream of another place. I'd like to explore the caves, but I feel the presence of a great darkness lurking somewhere. Where is this darkness? Will I overcome it? I could really use a map of the kingdom. The cave is supposedly full of hidden places. I wonder when I will have discovered every part of the cave. So far I haven't seen anything. There's a secret library somewhere in the kingdom. I could use some more books, so I'd very much like to find it. I really need to read more. My dream would be to find a book that never ends. Oh, we got 1,300 pages, not a terrible start. I read about the halls of eternity, a place where time stands still. Let's not go there. Since I have some spare time while I'm waiting, so I could try and make some use of it. After all, time goes faster if you keep your mind occupied. My home is not comfortable enough for this long wait. I wish I had more colours for my art studies. It should be possible to find some different coloured stones in a cave. I definitely need more pictures on my wall, especially lice pictures. Interesting. A mattock would be a nice tool to have down here. So that's kind of like, if I remember correctly, something halfway between like a mining pick and a hoe. I could try and enlarge my little home by hacking through the walls. There are crystals in many colours. I could harvest some of them and decorate my room. Bed would be a nice addition to my furniture. I could probably build one if I had the right materials. I could use some running water in my home. Not that I have any need for hygiene, I just like the sound. Luckily I don't need to eat, so it'd be nice to grow some pretty mushrooms. It's very lonely down here. From time to time it'd be nice to see another pair of eyes. I'd really like to converse with someone. Anyone. Sometimes a beautiful melody is playing in my head. I wish I could play my favourite tune on my instrument to ease the pain of my solitude. I should make a list of all my failings. Maybe that will be a small accomplishment at least. I currently have 0 disappointments and 1 paper. Well, let's fill up some disappointments. I think I'm going to quite enjoy the humour of this. This little sad character. And this feels to me like a list of quest items almost. So let's see how many of this little chap's life goals we can achieve before the end of Fear and Longing. Then he reaches his 400 day thing, and whatever the end of Fear and Longing means. Right, so I was going to say this playthrough. Am I going to play this more than once? I hope not. It's going to take me nearly a year to finish it anyway. He warned me I should never leave these caves. I wonder what exactly he meant by that. So I think I will not leave the caves, but I will do these. Right, so I think the first step has got to be seeing what else is out there, right? Oh, I should never leave these caves. Make a fire. Okay, so that's a little fire pit. Pick up. Okay, so it looks like this is a coal mine, and I'm going to pick these up because one day I'm going to make a fire. So I'm going to rescue all the coal. But there's a image here on the back of the wall which has got some kind of coal in a cut, maybe. Make music. Okay, so more instrument parts needed. Such a weird game. There's the Great King. I think the King will allow me to explore his vast realm, but I better remember the way back. That gives me a hint that this is a big game. I don't know whether I might actually start doing a pencil map of my own or whether it's going to provide me with one. There is no need to hurry, I have plenty of time to walk. This game is going to be excruciating. But I think I like it. Oh, hang on. We'll walk past that, not pick it up. Okay. Return my fallen brothers. I really like these stairs. It would never occurred to me to make a game with a timer that long and place it so that it actually counts down even while the player isn't playing. Just going to see what's behind here. I know I really like those stairs, and you know, we're going to explore those stairs some more. Why did I go here? There's a interesting commentary on how many people actually have gone there. That's a sign of madness. They're playing this game's a sign of madness. Something lying on the ground. Good. Got plenty of little coal brothers. They do just seem to fall constantly from the sky. So, we'll see what happens with that. I will be able to have a cozy little fire. Oh God. I can hear the noise. They're taking too much pleasure in this now, I think. I wonder whether this is... Well, hopefully this door either stays open or at the very least I don't need to shut it in a hurry. If I do need to shut it, or it shuts itself, but the next time it opens, it'll be faster. Is that enough room for me to go in? Seems like a great place to be lonely. I better remember the way. Okay, I'm going to start off by going through that rightmost door. I mean, this is a pretty distinctive... Oh, that stairs are ruined. I guess I'm going to go through the left. I have to remember that. Because my brain's going to go, oh yeah, you went through the right door. And it's like, no, that was my first decision. I actually went through the left door. Okay. I've got a friend Ian who is going to give me so much shit about playing this game. Because he won't get this game at all. In fact, I'm not 100% sure that I will. I wonder how many people have actually tried to make a let's play of the whole thing where they actually play it. Taking a stroll in these magnificent halls sure is a fulfilling occupation. Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued. Right, let's just keep heading as left as we can. I think I've got to get this guy back, right? I should talk to myself more often. Okay. Another room here. I'm just drawing a little map for myself so that I can hopefully not get too lost. That's the beauty of it, like getting this slow pace, is I've got loads of time to just kind of slowly pick up coal. Explore these little gateways. Now there's something. It's amazing when there's so little going on, like seeing a tiny little icon of something which might be different. It's surprisingly... What is it? A piece of flint. Okay, well that's good. That's not enough to do anything still. I need a second one. Quite sensibly match the music pace to the pace of the game. It's a like a big organ somewhere in Central Europe. This looks like the entrance to a dark and lonely place. Just the thing I need. Now, in my mind, that kind of shape looks a bit worrying, a bit humanoid. Let's see if I could die on my first day. That'd be a bit depressing, wouldn't it? But yeah, there's like a big organ in Central Europe somewhere where they've set the pace of the tempo of the music. I'm doing leftmost on everything, so I'm going to the left one, because otherwise I'm never going to be able to find my way back. So the tempo of this music has been set so slow that it's going to take like decades for the song to finish, and you can actually go there at specific times to hear literally one note to change to the next note. That's how rare it is. So if you're going to sit there during the day and have like dinner or something, you might just hear the one note continuously. It's an art project, obviously, because you know, nothing that useless could be anything other than art, could it? But just that kind of really unbelievably slow pace of music is reminding me of this one a little bit. I'm so glad that I've got a pattern for what I'm doing here. Which is I'm coming out of the rightmost of everything and going into the leftmost of everything. I mean, this is just wild. If I was picking randomly, how would I ever get home? even turns slowly at the top of the stairs. The good thing is actually is that this game's got what hopefully is a reasonably correct timer at the top here. It feels more or less correct. It's going to get less correct over time, I think. Oh, is that more flint? I'm going right now. Great. Hopefully it don't get used up. I'm going right. Yeah, with some coal and some stuff, I might be able to have a little fire tonight. Okay. Oh, what a strange little game. Can I get out of there? There's a pickup and a climb. I should have predicted this outcome. It's feeble little useless climb. Okay, right. I think this counts as a successful first video of the longing. I'm going to now attempt to retrace my steps. And and what? And start a fire at home, I guess. And then sit and review his thoughts and see whether we've managed to achieve anything today and how we might achieve anything. Okay, so this is my other one right. Now I should go up. This is unbelievable. I think this is going to be a real feat of endurance, turning this into a a multiple season, potentially multiple 100 episode Let's Play. I hope 10 coal's enough for a fire. It should be. Nearly enough in real life. Oh, there's another pickup. Come on, go through the door. I guess you could theoretically, I want to go right here. Okay, good. So you could theoretically, I guess, wait in your room just picking up coal, because they do fall periodically. It feels everywhere in here. Okay, now we're all the way right here. So that was the third door. What I think the amazing thing is that this game got past the tech demo. So when you're making games, quite often what you'll do is you'll knock up just a tiny little, well, like a mock-up of, you know, a couple of rooms of the game. Yeah. The idea being is you can test, is this actually fun? And someone made like a 3 or 4 screen version of this, where you just walk really slowly and takes ages to do something really, really simple. And then they would have played that amongst themselves and got together and went, this is really worth us putting, you know, months and months and months of effort of a team of maybe a dozen, 2 dozen people. God, I think this one. Oh, this is when it gets bad, isn't it? This is when it gets bad. Right, so that's questionable. Now, this does not feel familiar. Just remember going upstairs but not down. Excellent. That's 2 parts to my musical instrument. Given I started with one in the house, I'm 1/3 of the way through my quest. But my goal today is to start a fire after walking excruciatingly slowly. Now, I'm not going to look anywhere for any spoilers. I'm not going to watch anyone else's videos on this. It's now dawning on me that because I've made that kind of commitment to myself. Is this right? This is right. I remember this bit. Yeah, that's that there. So my map's going to have to get considerably more detailed than a couple of squares and a couple of arrows. I'm going to need actually a proper like tree diagram of all the different rooms. This is like how people used to have to play games, right? Is you didn't have guides, that kind of stuff. Like the earliest ones used to be game facts, game FAQs. Don't know whether any of you remember that one. That was all in text because the internet was really young at that point in time. And yeah, so if you wanted to know something, like you were playing. Walked so slowly the coal disintegrated before I even got there to pick it up. But yeah, like you used to have to do all of these things manually yourself. You couldn't just go on the internet and then download a big PNG map of the whole thing, where all the points of interest were and that kind of stuff. You had to basically sit down with a pen and pencil on a game like this, or Colossal Cave Adventure, something like that. Yeah, good. I'm going to be home shortly. And you'd have to just draw it out, and you'd have to make a record of all the different things that existed in all the different places, and what rooms had what in, and that kind of stuff. Because you'd find like a key room, right, where you needed a key, but you didn't have a key. And then, 20, 30 rooms down a winding path later, you'd find a key, and you're like, great, well, I've got to go back to the key room now. And if you haven't recorded where you've been, you're kind of screwed back in the day. I really like these stairs. How did they make this game? It is ridiculous. Right, I'm going to start a fire and then I'm going to end the video, and I'm going to upload this to YouTube. I'm going to wait for Ian to bully me. What are you playing that for? It's not even a game. You're an idiot. You're wasting your time. Why is everything so slow? Nothing happens. All these perfectly sane, valid arguments about this, I'm going to get. Just realised you can hear him snoring quietly in the background. It's weird because this game is so slow paced. I find it difficult to believe that there's actually an element of tension when they're like, oh, there's a mysterious darkness, and I mean, how on earth are you going to actually handle the possibility of dying in a game which is 400 days long? You can't die on day 323, can you? I mean, that's ridiculous. Oh, I will get that last bit of coal just in case. It takes a lucky 13 or something horrible like that to start the fire. We've arrived safely back home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Okay, so I just keep them then, I don't put them down. The plus side, that means that my inventory is either huge, I'm hoping it's just huge. Let's see whether we can start a fire. Oh, quite different types of fire. Smelly fire with sulfur. I don't know whether lapis lazuli would actually make a blue fire. I don't think it would in real life. I think really you should have something like copper sulfate or something in there to make it kind of a blue-green colour. Okay, wow. I'm gonna call that a day for this little guy's first adventure with me together. What better way than to have him sat in a room with a cozy fire, sitting and staring blankly forward at the room. Okay, well, join me tomorrow for the next episode of The Logging. What a mad game.